Good morning. We really appreciate all of you being here. This is a special weekend, not only for sports fans, but it's a special weekend for us. It's a time where we can bring light to a major problem in the state of Tennessee. Alcohol-related fatalities still comprise nearly 30% of our overall fatality totals. And we do this to bring emphasis and light to this throughout the course of the year at different times. What better time to do that during Super Bowl Sunday? Super Bowl Sunday has become a national holiday, and it's a way that we can accentuate drunk driving, impaired driving all across the state of Tennessee. We want to kick off today's press conference by introducing you to a very special guest who's got a pretty incredible story to tell, and I want to introduce to you Janelda Adamson.
Four years ago today, it was February 1st, 2009. It was also Super Bowl Sunday night. That night, the lives of my family, of myself, were tragically changed forever. At 6 o'clock in the evening, my oldest daughter called me from a local bar. She was there with her boyfriend and some friends, just 23 years old, about to be 24 in 12 days. They were having drinks and they were going to watch the Super Bowl game at the bar. Anna was affectionately called Crazy Beautiful. Beautiful, she was a gorgeous girl. Crazy, that would come from living life on the edge and enjoying living life on the edge. I told her to be careful. I hung up the phone and went about preparing snacks for my own family for a Super Bowl night. At 10:30 p.m., my husband came in and awakened me because there were two officers at our house. Apparently, Anna and her boyfriend had left the bar, had scuffled over who was going to drive, and she rode as passenger that night. Between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, their car went over 4 lanes in Gallatin Road in Hendersonville and struck a truck head on. I was told upon impact that she died. Her aorta was severed. But the kind medical personnel that were there tried and tried because she was so young to revive her, to no avail. She felt no pain, at least that's what I was told. But I felt pain. The pain of losing my daughter, the pain of showing up at the hospital in a cold, sterile room identifying her, the pain of our friends, her brothers, her sisters, all coming to the hospital that night. Her sisters were 13 and 20 at the time. They went in the room, they were questioning, they were asking her, why did you make that decision? How could you do this? You'll never be there for my wedding. You'll never be there for my graduation. You see, that night the driver was drunk, but so was my daughter. His blood alcohol content was a 0.16. Hers was a 0.24. She wasn't a big buckler either, so she wasn't buckled in her seatbelt, likely because she wasn't coherent enough maybe to have buckled. Why do I share this? It's certainly nothing I'm proud of. My child drank that night. She didn't drive, but she could have been, and had in the past drank and driven before. Come on, parents. It's not a good thing to live in a bubble. If you think that your children won't do this, if you think, oh, it won't happen to my family, then think again. Look at me. I'm a normal, everyday person. It happened to my family. It happened to my daughter. You are somebody's grandmother. You're somebody's mom. You're somebody's dad. You're somebody's friend. You're somebody's brother and sister. And when someone dies from a drinking and driving accident, the lives of the victim's family changes forever. Not only that, but the lives of the offender's family changes forever. Instead of celebrating Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, they'll visit your grave. Instead of enjoying Super Bowl every year, they will remember it as your last day. It can be changed now. Nothing can be done. Our crazy beautiful is gone. She's dead. But could it have been avoided? Most certainly, it could have been avoided. Better decisions, the restaurant taking away the keys, a designated driver, all of those things could have changed things that night, the night that my daughter was killed. Do you think I remember who played Super Bowl in 2009? I don't have a clue. But I do remember who and what was taken from me that night. And that inspires me to help others not go through what our family has gone through. Please, this Sunday on Super Bowl night, think before you drink. Don't drive.
Thank you so much, Janelda. And there's not a lot of words that can express what we just heard. Thank you for having the courage to be able to share that with everybody. I want to introduce to you a very, very special partner, not only to TDOT and the Governor's Highway Safety Office, but a special partner to the citizens of the state of Tennessee. Every time that we need something, he's always there. And last year we honored him. I'm sorry, I don't have another plaque to give you this year, Don. But Don McLaughlin is what I like to call the Energizer Bunny. He's always there for everybody, always there for us. And the citizens of Tennessee, citizens of Nashville, Middle Tennessee, everywhere are better because of Don's contributions to the community through the Titans. So I want to introduce to you the Executive Vice President of Administration for the Tennessee Titans, Don McLaughlin.
Thank you, Kendall. I do have a lot of energy, but hearing Janelda's story certainly is numbing. For a parent that has two grown daughters at home that both can drive at 24 and 19, you obviously have worries about things like that. And we've had a tremendous partnership with TDOT, the Governor's Highway Safety Office, and it's paramount to us and to our General Manager, Walter Overton, who runs everything here at LP Field for all the events, that when over 1 million people come through this building on an annual basis, that we make sure to get out the message to not drink and drive, to choose a designated sober driver. You go down the interstates now, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. That message resonates with me every night when I go home down 65. And when you look here and you've got great Tennessee State troopers, you've got Metro Police, people that we interface with before every event that we have here at LP Field, and communicate that message that people need to be safe. Choose a designated driver. Don't put anyone else through what Janelda has been through and will continue to live through. The Super Bowl, as Kendall said, it has become a party, a big American holiday. It's a wonderful event. It's the most watched sporting event in the world. But the most important thing is watch it from the safety of your home, or give those keys to someone that is going to drive those people home or to their respective apartment, wherever they're going to live, safely. Because these law enforcement officers will be out there, and they've done everything in their power, and we do everything in our power to work with Kendall and his staff and the commissioners to make sure that there are not any fatalities, minimal, none fatalities on Super Bowl Sunday or any given event or any day of the year. It's foolish, it's selfish, and you're not thinking if you're out there drinking and driving. So the message that I want to convey today is we appreciate the partnership with Kendall, with the Governor's Highway Safety Office, with TDOT, and for any event here, even though it's an event that's taking place in New Orleans, and it's a big event for the National Football League, what's bigger to the Tennessee Titans this Sunday and any given day of the year is keeping people safe and keeping drunk drivers off the road. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. I want to introduce to you a very, very special partner to us as well. We work very, very closely with the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security and Commissioner Bill Gibbons, and the Deputy Commissioner, Larry Godwin, is here with us today, and he's going to speak in just a minute. But our relationship with Commissioner Godwin is very special because he understands what we do in the Governor's Highway Safety Office. You see, he was a former grantee when he was Director of Police with the Memphis Police Department. So he understands the boots on the ground philosophy that we have of backing up our educational message with quality enforcement, not only on Super Bowl Sunday and holiday weekends, but all across the year. Deputy Commissioner of the Tennessee Department of Safety, Larry Godwin.
First of all, thank you very much, and I know you're going to hear a lot about enforcement. You'll hear a lot about don't drink and drive, and I know you hear these things, but I don't know anything atop what Janelle said, and what she's had to go through. I do want to thank Commissioner Schroer and the Tennessee Department of Transportation, Director Poole, and as he mentioned, we've been friends for a very, very long time and work closely together, and he makes a lot of things happen, but also Don McLaughlin of the Tennessee Titans organization for putting this event together. But Commissioner Gibbons and the members of the Department of Safety and Homeland Security, we strive and work each and every day to reduce fatalities on our roadways. And we know that special occasions brings families and friends together, and as we've already heard, Super Bowl is a special occasion for a lot of citizens across the country and all around the world, actually. I will tell you, last year, 2 people were killed on Tennessee roadways on Super Bowl Sunday. Both of them were impaired. Both of them were not wearing seatbelts. The 2 things that we talk about and the Colonel preaches and preaches and preaches. We're urging our citizens to think before you get behind the wheel. I don't know how else to say that. Don't drink and drive. I don't know how else to say that. The consequences, ladies and gentlemen, they're real. You heard it here today. They are real. If you don't lose your life, if you're fortunate enough not to take another life, you will pay for it in fines, and we will arrest you. It's that simple. And you could be paying for the rest of your life for something you did by not being responsible. Our enforcement efforts are enhanced, as Director Poole said, by our partners in law enforcement. I want to thank Metro PD for being here today and the support that they always show us, and law enforcement across the state for working closely with us. But it's very simple. Don't drink and drive. Watch out for your friends, but I think, as you might hear, good fans don't let fans drive. When they've been drinking, I want to acknowledge and thank designated drivers. I mean, you know, no one wants to give up their keys, and it seems when you're drinking, it affects your decision-making big time because you're not making good, sound decisions. And I just urge everyone to make sure that you have a designated driver. And I will say one thing. On every Super Bowl Sunday when I was in Memphis, my wife and I threw a get-together function for a special group of officers. And it was 29 of them. And you add their spouses, and I had about 60 people at my house, roughly. And I made the supervisor give me the name of the designated driver. And they all had a designated driver. And basically what they did, they got a couple of large vehicles, and no one was allowed to drive if they drank. Not everybody does that. But the last thing you want is to have to go through what Janelle has gone through. So I urge you, have fun, enjoy the game. Please be responsible. Thank you very much.
I want to introduce to you also a very, very, very special partner to us from the law enforcement side. The relationship between the Governor's Highway Safety Office and the Tennessee Highway Patrol is paramount, and obviously the Tennessee Highway Patrol is a part of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Under Colonel Tracy Trott's watch, DUI arrests have risen tremendously, and as a result, over that time period, fatalities have dropped over the last several years because of his commitment to getting impaired drivers off the road in the state of Tennessee. Our very special friend, Colonel Tracy Trott.
Good morning. I'm a football fan. I love Super Bowl weekend, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you that I was very concerned about the weekend's activities. Unfortunately, the Super Bowl has turned into a drinking holiday across the nation. People have parties, they consume alcohol in large amounts, get in a car and drive. We're going to employ all our strategies this weekend. We're going to use the no refusal law, which mandates tests with search warrants. We're going to have aggressive line patrols. We'll have sobriety checkpoints set up all across the state. We will not give second chances. We will not give breaks. There will be no excuses. If we catch you impaired driving a car, we will arrest you on the spot. Please drive carefully. Please don't drink and drive. Wear your seatbelt. Use a designated driver. It's as simple as that. Thank you.
Colonel, and now I want to introduce to you a champion of public safety across the state of Tennessee as the Commissioner of Transportation. He has brought more light and awareness to fatalities and the public's awareness of actually what goes on. We all have seen the digital message signaging boards, and that was his idea, and that's what he wanted to do to help broadcast the idea across the state of Tennessee, and the awareness is having an impact across the state. Commissioner John Schroer of the Tennessee Department of Transportation.
Thanks, Kendall. And Don, and you mentioned that the fans don't let fans drive. We are trying our best to bring awareness to the state. We have two jobs, we think. One is we want to make sure that our roads are as safe as possible and that we do the things that we need to do. We actually this year have an additional additional amount of money to do safety projects across the state. And we're doing those across the way, and that will make a difference. But we also want to bring awareness, and awareness is critical. And so we've used those message boards to help that. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. But we also wanted to bring awareness of how many fatalities there are on our roads, so people are cognizant of that. And Janella, I know what you went through was horrible, but so far this year, there have been 73 families that have already gone through a death. In 31 days, we've had 73 fatalities. So there have been officers that have come to 73 different doors to knock and say that they've lost a family member, and their lives, as you said, will never be the same. We want to make sure that people are aware and that the decisions that they make every day can affect them and other members of their family and other families. And we want to use those message boards to bring that awareness. We're going to continue to do that, and we hope until we have a year without any fatalities, we will continue to bring that message to the citizens of Tennessee. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Schroer. I want to also point out, right behind Commissioner Schroer is another poster, and it says "More Cops, More Stops" on there. And actually, we have been posting "More Cops, More Stops" on Commissioner Schroer's DMS boards this week. This is a demonstration project that the Governor's Highway Safety Office entered into. It's a different message, and it's a combined messaging project. The reason that we did that is it was free money to us from the federal government for entering into that program. We're able to give back to all the law enforcement officers and our partners across the state as a result of participating in this 2-year demonstration project. You see, they like to use Tennessee because they know we do things right a lot of times as a demonstration project. So hopefully we'll be able to see some very, very strong results from that, and we will be able to get that out to the rest of the nation. I want to introduce to you another law enforcement partner, very, very special to us, the Metro Police Department and Chief Steve Anderson are very critical to us, particularly right here in Davidson County with their leadership. You see, we can do all the messaging and the education in the world, but if we don't have the enforcement to back it up, then it falls on deaf ears many times. So I want to introduce to you, representing the Metro Police Department, Lieutenant Mike Gilliland.
Thank you, sir. We at the Metro Police Department are honored and privileged to have a great working relationship with the Tennessee Highway Patrol and a wonderful partner with the Governor's Highway Safety Office. As a result of that partnership that we've had with the Governor's Highway Safety Office, for years we've been able to put additional officers on the streets during the weekends and as well as during holidays such as the Super Bowl. As a result of those extra duty officers, for the year of 2012 in Davidson County, we were able to reduce roadway fatalities by 11%, and we're committed to continuing that year after year. These officers are specifically tasked to be on the lookout for impaired and aggressive drivers, the types of people who put all of us and our families at risk. I want to direct a message to all those who are going to be out this weekend attending Super Bowl parties. If you're going to drink, please arrange for a designated driver. If you're sponsoring a function at your home, take responsibility for your guests and provide them with a safe ride home. On Super Bowl Sunday last year, our officers arrested 15 people and charged them with DUIs. If you're out and decide to drink, you will be arrested and charged, no questions asked. So please arrange for a designated driver. And finally, we hope you go out, we hope you have a good time, and we hope that your favorite team wins the game. But we do not want your family or ours to lose because of a poor decision that you made. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I want to recognize just a couple of people really quick, those folks behind the scenes that help put these things together. B.J. Dowdy's here, and Deanna Lambert is here, and Megan Buell is here. Those folks work very hard to put these things together. Walter Overton, Don had already mentioned Walter. Walter's a very, very special friend to us as well as a member of the Titans in managing this. This is a pretty big Super Bowl, 49ers and Ravens. One day, the Titans will be back in the Super Bowl, Don, and we're pulling for that. And I think it's really interesting that we have brothers coaching against each other in the Super Bowl, which is actually incredible. And I always know exactly what Super Bowl it is because it's exactly how old I am. So I just gave away my age. But want to let you know that even though it is a very, very special Super Bowl, it is another day of the year, and it's a day of the year where there is more drinking taking place. Please, please, please heed the advice of everybody up here. Social responsibility is paramount. It's important.